Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader, and today I thought I would talk to you about kindness, why we need it, why it's just such a life-giving force in the world. I also felt like it would be important to give a reading for those of us who are feeling the lack of it right now in our lives. I had something happen yesterday that was really not fun, and it was an interaction with someone that was coming from a place of fear, and it felt like kindness in that situation was sorely missing. And it took me a minute to really feel my anger, just allow myself to have a crappy experience and then move on. And I am still in that process of moving on, but it helped me to recognize the need for kindness in these times that are so big and scary feeling, and in which it's so easy to forget ourselves and how we treat one another as human beings. So the cards that I pulled felt very pertinent, as always, and yeah, why don't I just share those with you now. First card I pulled, this is a water card. Water always deals with emotions, intuitive and psychic connection. This card is about walking away from the situations that no longer serve us. And I feel that as a collective energy, or a collection of energies, we are in the process of walking away from the things that that were important to experience and that it's time to move on from. That's how I interpret that. It is also in conjunction with this beautiful card. Now this card is all about balance, calm, sound judgment. Yesterday, I admit I was not in a place of sound judgment because I was rattled by the lack of kindness in that situation. But to really return to this is such a life-giving thing and such a wonderful energy. So these two cards are just right at the top of the reading. Now, the next two, I'll just do them in layers this time, are Queen of Swords. Now this is air energy. Air and swords relate very directly to the mind. So our thought processes, how we articulate ourselves. Yeah, those two main things. Queen of Swords doesn't beat around the bush. She is all about speaking her truth unapologetically, straightforwardly, and that can actually be really refreshing. Whereas Wheel of Fortune, I always view Wheel of Fortune as positive motion forward, and so this first message feels like it's about the importance of really airing our thoughts, if only to ourselves. Not everyone will be ready to hear what we're about, and that kind of has to be okay. But first and foremost, the dialogue we have with ourselves is so important, and so to recognize the need for release of our emotions, I often feel like Queen of Swords is about releasing through writing, through dialogue, through speaking up, really voicing the things that we feel on a deeper level that we may or may not even be aware of until we're in the process of articulating those thoughts. So this is a powerful time, as everybody already knows. I mean, I'm not saying anything new there, but our positive motion forward comes from being honest with ourselves and those around us. And it starts with us. So this may be a a personal private dialogue that needs to happen between you and you. And that is okay. That is a really good thing. So there's that message. Now the other message, actually very much relating to that first message, this card came up in the last reading for us. Now Five of Wands it's really so often about us struggling with ourselves. So that can be an external manifestation. It can be just having a really frustrating point of attraction where we have a crap day, everything goes wrong, and then we need to just go to sleep and start over. It can also just be feeling really conflicted internally. It can be all internal. Now this is the fire element, and so if you think of fireworks going off, if you think of forest fires and house fires and getting burned, I mean, that's this energy. Fire is passionate. It's wonderfully refreshing. It can also be about renewal. Here, it's definitely about burning on the inside and kind of, well, again, just struggling with yourself. Now, opposite that, we have Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is the earth element, and earth is often about nourishment. Earth is really about knowing how to take care of yourself on the physical level. It can be physical health, it can be physical abundance, financial abundance, everything relating to the material world, and not in a bad way. I mean, we are physical beings, and we need the benefit of financial gain, and we need the benefit of good health, and so all of those things just have a perfect place in our lives. So Queen of Pentacles in particular is very much an Earth Mother figure. She's all about making sure that you get enough sleep, making sure that you like the clothes you're wearing, and that you're feeding yourself enough food, and that you're comfortable in your surroundings. She's very much about physical nourishment and just the magic within that, because there is magic within that. That is earth magic. So here she's reversed, and she's, again, directly opposite from this energy of fighting ourselves. So this feels so pertinent right now. I know that for myself, when I was in that situation yesterday, it was so hard for me to just be okay with myself and make sure that I had what I needed to have a better day. I can tell when I'm fighting myself, I do not let myself enjoy the day. It feels as if it's so easy to let other people seemingly ruin our experience and then have a crappy day as a result. So I can so relate to that need. And here, with the reversal, it feels like there's such a need, and a need that's not being met necessarily. When we are unkind to ourselves, when we are unkind to other people, we're not taking care of ourselves. It may feel like we're voicing something very important in the moment that needs to be voiced, but if you listen to your gut, chances are it doesn't feel good on a physical level to get caught up in that kind of conflict. This is a softer energy. This is a kinder energy, and we need this. So this is definitely a message to really listen in as best we can and just find ways to nourish ourselves first and foremost, because everything runs more smoothly from there. And I speak from very personal experience on that. Now the last message, again, we have swords here. This is a card that speaks to our anxiety. And collectively, there's so much anxiety floating around us right now. There's what we see in the news, there's what we read on Facebook, I know personally, in the midst of COVID-19, what keeps me from going out most immediately is a social anxiety and not knowing how to follow the rules that feel like they're laid out before us. So there's a lot of fear of getting it wrong. There's a lot of fear of having conflict with other people. And so this is the opposite of the more grounded earth energy, because this is in our head. So this is the kind of energy that comes about when we are stuck in our head, caught in our fears, unable to see past any of that. But it's in reverse in this reading. And what that's telling me here is that we are in the process of coming out of our fears. We are in the process of deep transformation. And that's just a wonderful thing. That's something to celebrate. And even if, and this came up in the last reading, even if we are not in the best place right now to celebrate, we're gonna be celebrating, because this means that even as we struggle to cultivate more of this nurturing, nourishing energy within us, we're on the right track, because we're moving through a lot of really intense energy. And coming back to the first card I drew, Eight of Cups, we are in the process of walking away from emotional patterns, fear, stuckness, all of that stuck energy. We're in the process of leaving it behind. And that really is a process. And what I'm finding for myself is that I need to make peace as best I can with the reality of coming back to that stuckness and moving away, and coming back and moving away. And so the more I'm able to acknowledge that ultimately I am moving away from what no longer serves me, and I am moving away from feeling that stuckness, if I can allow that to just fall away on its own timeline, at its own pace, and have faith that that is happening and I am moving forward, the better off I am. The more stable I feel within myself, the more I'm able to allow for new things in my life. That really feels like what we're doing here. We're paving the way for better things, which is a very Abraham Hicks kind of a statement. So trust that. Trust that within yourself. Take care of yourself as best you can. And find ways to make room for kindness. First and foremost to yourself, because that will allow you to be kinder to everyone else in the process. And kindness is really what we need right now. It's not about more information. It's not about more fear. It's not even about more regulation. If we can just trust that we're doing the best we can, and be gentle with ourselves, then everything unfolds from there. Everything begins to flourish from there. Even as we can't see it right now or celebrate that right now, we're getting closer. And that's huge. So, wonderful job, everyone. And just remember that you're doing the best you can. Please like and subscribe. I look forward to making many more videos and seeing you again and again. And bye for now.